Sawadee and welcome to the Funky Pod. And it's Monday, and you know what that means. MMA Monday, the OG, the one, the only, the original, back in your life, MMA Monday, where, again, I don't review MMA unless it's one. If it's one championship, I review and I preview for UFC and so on. I'm not doing this because you go watch Luke Thomas, Brian Campbell, Anthony Smith, and that other dude on Anthony Smith's podcast, Harry Helwani, and so on. So you don't need me there. I'll try to look into like how is the media being used and how's the media using the fighters or the content and so on. Because, well, that's what I do for a living, teaching media stuff at university. It's very hard. I know I get messages like, dude, you're saying you're not reviewing, but then you do it anyways. It's hard to like keep your excitement / your opinion out of it, right? So I'll try again. So UFC 285 is today's topic. The next one championship event is on March 25th, the pay-per-view event. They have one Friday fights now every Friday from Lumpini Stadium. They don't announce the fight cards as much ahead of time, so it's a Monday, so they don't announce the fight cards. On a Monday, they announce them like the day before because it's every week, so they just, I assume, shuffling around. So I can't review much there. Go watch it. It's every Friday, Asian time, 7 p.m. or so here in Bangkok time. Go figure out what it's for you, but it's fantastic. It's great. And I'm not getting paid for one, and I'm very critical of one's business model very often. But the one Friday fights from Lumpini Stadium, the Madison Square Garden of the East, how they say like every 5 minutes in the broadcast, cut it down, guys, is fantastic. So go check this out. But now let's review UFC 285. How the media use it, not the fights, right? So let's review the media usage and how fighters use the media. Okay. Cool. First things first, those events are fantastic. The UFC knows how to put on pay-per-views. I've said it before, I said it again, pay-per-views like this, where they care, are fantastic. The packaging, the production, the walkouts, the intro videos, it's all awesome. If there's a fight night, they just don't give a about it, and then it's just terrible. But pay-per-views are fantastic, so everything was awesome. Yeah, okay, no problem. Especially if it's from Las Vegas, where they know everything. They had their P's and Q's, A's and O's, and whatever, right? So they have it perfected there. So that was great. Okay, that's out of the picture now. Okay, let's talk about the fighters, the fights, and so on. So main event, as I said before, Jon Jones, Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane was like an afterthought, right? No one cared about Cyril Gane before. He wasn't in the media. He didn't do any interviews. He wasn't, or like not many interviews. Might be because he's French, but I mean, come on, you had Francis everywhere, even though he wasn't speaking English very well in the beginning. Now he speaks very well. So maybe Cyril should go a similar route and try to learn more English. Even though it's racist, but it's just the case of people care more, right? I mean, I'm not a native speaker, but I understand that if you speak English, more people will listen to you, especially if the UFC is based in the US. So didn't see much of Cyril Gane, not much of his story. In the embeddeds, they had a little bit of his story, but yeah, sure. That's about it, right? It was all about Jon Jones. We heard about, and Jon Jones was everywhere in the press conferences, on every podcast, on every interview station, whatever you want to call it. And he was like this good guy, Jon Jones, and he's like motivated and he respects it, but he's gonna make it look easy. So I like the trash talk there a little bit. So let's just talk right away about like how Jon Jones used the media and how the media used Jon Jones, right? The media was fully in on the Jon Jones hype train, great. And Jon Jones was like, I'm the good guy now. Just train, eat, sleep, take your vitamins, train, kind of like thing. No one believes it. Actually, surprisingly, many people seem to believe it. I don't believe it, but that doesn't matter, right? The media was just happy to have Jon Jones back because they know Jon Jones equals. Hey, Snooze. For those who just listening, my cat just jumped on behind me and is throwing her balls, like some soft balls on it she likes to play with. I'm happy that you're on the camera now, Snooze. So anyways, the media was just happy to have Jon Jones because Jon Jones means clicks and views and so on, right? When you threw both balls down, good job. And Jon Jones seemed to be happy to be back also because everyone wanted to know about him, wanted to talk to him and so on. And then he didn't waste any time. He was like, I train, I respect everybody, blah, blah, and so on. But I'm gonna make it look easy. So he had like this little bit of trash talk in there, which was nice. Like he's like, hey, people say like Cyril is the best fighter or best stand-up fighter I've ever faced. I think Thiago Santos was much better. Like those little picks in between, like using the media to pick at Cyril Gane, to make Cyril Gane question himself, maybe even. And it worked to perfection, as you've seen, right? It was fantastic. Also, he had fun, or like not fun, but kind of embraced it a little, like people poking fun at his physique, because well, he's bigger now as a heavyweight. He doesn't look as jacked as he used to, and he rolled with it. He seemed like a bit bothered by it, but he did roll with it, right? So good on him. After the fight, after he made quick work of Cyril Gane, he said like, or he called out Stipe Miocic, right, and so on, which is fine. And he just kept using the media and was like all again like, yeah, thanks to Jesus, my savior, blah blah. Not offending any Christians, please. I used to be one too. Emphasis on used. But I don't believe that shtick. I would be surprised if we see John Jones versus Stipe Miocic during the International Fight Week, and nothing's going to happen to John Jones before. Also, and I feel terrible for saying it, but his fiance looks like his PR agent or something. Please forgive me for saying that. I know it's very sexist. No, it's not sexist actually. It's stylish. It's style. Just the way she dressed. Is that a thing to judge someone by his style? Probably it's a thing. Classist, no, but job is. I don't know. You tell me what I just did and how I offended someone. Anyways, I just don't believe that he's like that super good guy now. He's gonna be like, I beat Cyril Gane in 2 minutes with, I don't know, maybe not coke this time, but whatever else he's doing. But nevertheless, the media happy about John Jones, so they're just pushing him everywhere. John Jones always on social media at least, so now he's actually actively back. So he's good at utilizing the media to his advantage as well, to always stay in the discussion, of course. Okay, let's move on. Valentina Shevchenko also used the media now after she lost to Alexa Grasso very well. Before, she was in all the platforms, interviews, and saying like, yeah, but she didn't dismiss Alexa Grasso. She just didn't talk much about her, which might have been a bit dismissive. She talked about Aaron Blanchfield and so on. So that might have now come back and bitten her in the butt. But now she's like on Twitter, like, yeah. And also dismissing Alexa Grasso a little bit. She's like, yeah, I dominated all the rounds, got caught, so hey, immediate rematch, let's go. So, of course, you use the social media to ask for the immediate rematch. Makes sense. And, I mean, Alexa Grasso was open to it. She's like, yeah, of course, she gets the immediate rematch. But that attitude, I mean, you have to show that on social media. Like, hey, I won all the rounds, so I deserve the rematch right away. Yeah, makes sense. But did she really win all the rounds? So she didn't, right? So I do hope for just Valentina's sake, because I like her, because she trains here in Thailand a lot. So I just hope for her sake that she takes it more serious and that she knows that she lost like one or almost 2 rounds. Okay, but she uses the media well now, like asking for the rematch. Alexa Grasso is like, yeah, you can have it, so all good. Alexa Grasso could be probably a bit more outspoken, but maybe all the Mexicans are a little bit less outspoken, which is nice because I'm an introvert, so I relate to that, like to Brandon Moreno, to Alexa Grasso, to be like a bit more soft-spoken, which I like. But maybe you're the champ now, Alexa, so maybe you can put Valentina in her place, like just a little bit, just to heat up that rivalry a little bit. Difficult word for non-native speaker, rivalry. If you think about how to write it, I just had it in my head, like, do you write it a rivalry? So that's why I slurred it a little bit. Sorry. Okay, let's move on. What else? Well, yeah, Shavkat, Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal was awesome. Shavkat was more awesome. But we kind of, media-wise, I mean, the media should run with Shavkat, like this walk-off, I mean, submission and just letting him drop to the floor. It looked like John Jones versus Lyoto Machida, right? So that was pretty epic in terms of like how it looked like from a movie. So run with that, like, even though he doesn't speak English and so he doesn't do much media, obviously, but just have that in all your, I don't know, hype packages or something, I think. So you should... Shavkat Rakhmonov should get all the hype in the world now, I think. After that display, you can take so many clips from that fight and just like hype it up. And hype up that he doesn't speak English. Hype up that he doesn't do media. That he's like that quiet guy, the quiet assassin who just goes out, kills you, and then just goes back home. Like, just, he's like more Khabib than Khabib. Like, not in terms of fighting style, but in terms of like behavior. He just shows up, he kills his opponent, and then he goes back. So make this his thing. Make this like into like a hype package, and then sell it, because Shavkat Rakhmonov is the real deal, and the media should use him in that way. And of course, I understand that he can't use the media in that way because, again, he doesn't speak English and it's not his personality, but the media should run with it. His PR team should run with it. If you don't have a PR team, Shavkat, come here, we'll do it for you. For free even. let's get you like the hype you deserve, man, because Shavkat Rakhmonov deserves all the hype. But can't say much about the media usage just yet, but the media should just pick up on him and just like should show him like everywhere all the time. He's the boogeyman. Like, Shavkat Rakhmonov is the boogeyman, because like, while Kamsat ragdolls people, yeah, whatever, it looks awesome, but this walk off squeeze and just let him drop, that's the boogeyman. So go with that. He's the boogeyman, I think. You should run with that. Like, that's how you sell it, in my opinion. Okay, the rest, also all awesome fights. I mean, I can't go through everyone, and not everyone can have like the media attention they might even deserve. Cody Garbrandt, very quick, should be really quiet. I mean, good job winning, obviously, but again, talking about media stuff, like, he shouldn't be out there being like, yeah, let's go, because I mean, in the end, it was a little bit lucky. Yes, he won UD, but I mean, that last round was like not great. So he calmly call someone out, not call someone out like, yeah, I'm the shit, let's go, because that wasn't as convincing. Other than that, well, the fights were all awesome. Again, UFC did a great job highlighting them or showcasing them. I can't go through all of them, but I think like the media focus will be on the main fights anyways, and so that those fighters should be utilizing the media a bit more. Well, I'm lying. I have to mention one more. Obviously, Bonical. Dude, if you knee someone in the nuts and then you win after what happened right after that nut shot, I mean, yes, you dominated, but don't be that arrogant now. Like, I saw him just a little bit on an area, like saying, didn't hit the nuts, it's the angle. I mean, that angle must be really distorted if that wasn't the nuts. Like, I mean, whew. I don't know how that angle can be that distorted, to be honest. And I mean, the guy, Jamie Pickett, immediately grimaced. So I still think it was a nut shot. And so if you win decisively, but not pretty, if that's something like here in Thailand, that would be like a criteria. Like they say it's mai suai. It's like not pretty. If you throw some ugly shit when you in a Muay Thai fight, they're like, doesn't count as much. Like, it needs to look nice. You need to have good technique. And the technique of Bonical wasn't that great. Like, the wrestling is great, but then the sub wasn't that great, of course. But anyways, if that happens right after you knee someone in nuts, and now I'm reviewing fights. No, I'm not. But I'm saying, if you do it like this, yes, you say, I won in a dominant fashion, of course. But maybe don't call it like a fake thing. Say like, I'm not sure if I really hit him. I don't think I hit him. I was aiming for the thigh. Maybe it grazed him or something. It's unfortunate, but it happens in fights. Not like, it wasn't him and he's just faking it or something. Because that's just not cool. Come on. Yeah, so I think, that's a takeaway is also that there's nothing real clippable from that fight for the media to use to hype Bonical. Like, from this fight, there's not much you can clip from, besides maybe the end, the submission, but otherwise there's not much to take from that, I think. I think the hype train should be slowed down a little bit. You can't slow down too much because, I mean, now he beat Jamie Pickett, but like slow down a little bit and maybe I can push Shavkat and let Bonical like cook a little bit longer. That's my opinion. Okay, that's enough of like looking into like what they should do with their media presence, what they shouldn't be doing, what their media should be doing, I think. Anything that I forgot? No. Well, lastly, again, props to John Jones also for how he not only uses social media because we know he's a troll, But also like in the press conference, like a few dicks, not dicks, but like just mentioning, he's like, yeah, let's move on, blah, blah. Everyone makes some mistakes at times. Dana knows that. Nice. And I had like those little dicks in there. So he seems smart. He is smart. I just don't think he can keep it together. But so far so good. It looked very nice, very... Oh yeah, the last thing, the main part actually, what I wanted to criticize, this is the MMA media. I wanted to criticize the MMA media, not the fighters, the MMA media. Like whatever, MMA Fighting, Ariel Helwani, Luke Thomas, all of those guys. And it was like Joe Rogan, right away, like, okay, that cements it. Jon Jones is the GOAT, the greatest of all times. Maybe, but I have a problem with that. Simply because in the same breath that you're saying, yeah, Jon Jones is the greatest of all time because he became a heavyweight champion right now, you're also saying, oh, DC can take off his headset and beat Cyril Gane right now. He just out-wrestles him. Yeah, so what's true right now? Does Cyril Gane suck like everyone makes it out to be? Or is Jon Jones the GOAT? You can't have it both ways. So yes, you can say Cyril Gane wasn't as good as we thought he was, and Jon Jones outclassed him, would clearly happen. But does that make you all automatically the GOAT? The pound-for-pound king now? Just because you have like one win over someone who's clearly not on your level? Wouldn't the GOAT beat more fighters that are close to his level so that he gets the GOAT status? Wouldn't the pound-for-pound king fight more, have to have more fights and win them before he's the pound-for-pound king? That's what you did 3 years ago, and then you didn't do anything in between. Does it still count? You're taking 3 years off, and then you're like, well, now there's an easy way, let's do that. Does that make you the GOAT? Does it make you the P4P, the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world? I don't know. And that's my issue with the MMA media. Yeah, he's the GOAT. He didn't do anything for 3 years. He has one win over someone who clearly effed up or who was no match. How does it make him the best fighter now? It's like, to speak to Luke Thomas, it's like, hey, Luke, it's like if Barca beats Getafe or beats Tenerife 7-0. I don't know why I say 7-0. If Barca beats Tenerife, for example, right? And I'm a huge Tenerife fan, by the way. I live there, so I love Tenerife. But if Barca, that's the best masculine club, the best club in football, obviously, and they beat like a lower level football club, does that make them the best club in the world? No, it doesn't. Barca hasn't won the Champions League, for example, in a while. Hasn't won the Spanish Primera División. But they win like one match against Getafe, against Tenerife. Does that make them the best team in the world? The best team of all time? Probably not. For the NBA fans, for the Americans who don't speak football, if Ben Simmons, just imagine the Nets playing. It's a tight game. They play the Houston Rockets. It's a tight game for some reason. The ball, like the Rockets are attacking. They lose the ball. It's a loose ball. It somehow ends up in Ben Simmons' hands, and Ben Simmons actually makes the layup. Is he the best player in the world because he made the layup and won the game for the Nets? Probably not, right? So why is Jon Jones now the best fighter in the world by defeating someone who wasn't on his level? You tell me. Tell me at FunkitPod on social media or funkitpod@gmail.com. Keep your hate comments polite, your Jon Jones writers. And I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you. Until then, stay safe, take care, keep your guard up. We talk soon. Saudi Cup.